Hello everybody. Well, I was going to try to get them all three in the same shot, but I can't quite do it. They're almost never at the same place at the same time, and now it seems like they're going their separate ways. So that's going to be pretty much it. I missed a nose bump there, which you can kind of tell probably. Go ahead and in a bit here. Babs there doesn't really care that much for Carly, so she's going to sort of separate from her a bit. Ah, there's the old fish pond. Just cleaned it out the other day. I started to film it, and I just figured it would be just too much of a hassle to film. Cleaning and filming and bunches of water splattering around. I didn't want to get my camera wet either. But anyhow, there are the fish. Just a small little fish pond. There's 10 fish in here, by the way. Okay, so there is the fish pond. By the way, this canopy here beside the house, see if I can show it here. This is one of these canvas type of canopies, and of course a more permanent solution would be a metal one. This one here is kind of problematic when it snows. I know of people who have had these and snow have got on them and just broke them down. So anytime there's a couple of inches of snow, you have to come out here and scrape the snow off of them. I got a special long tool that does that. And I put from the side of the house, I put this awning type of thing, and the way it's attached to the house, this awning is attached to the house with just a long board. I put the entire end of the awning underneath this long board, which is then screwed into the side of the house. And on the edges here, I have just a metal rod on the edges, which is attached to this awning with what you call ball bungees. Unbelievably enough, I never even heard or was aware of these ball bungees before putting this awning from the house to the canopy, but they do a really nice job. Now let me see if I can zoom in here, and you can see where it's attached to the house itself. All right, the way I fixed it, that's not exactly solid. What I mean is I can okay, zoom over here. I can take this loose. I can take this rod. This rod right here loose. I just got a bunch of ball bungees holding it on. I can take this loose, and then it will swing downward. That's a sort of a swivel type of thing up there. Anyway, the rod will swing downward to where this hole, well, there's all three of them. Let's see if I can get them all here. Oh, hold on. 3 cats in the same shot. Babs is leaving. Yeah, well, it was a try. Anyhow, this rod will swing downward. So if you detach this end and the far end down there, it will swing downward, and therefore if it snows or anything, you have to move, of course, all these chairs and whatnot out of the way, and that way the snow will just slide right off of this thing, and then it allows access to get the snow off of the other canopy there. But anyway, that was a pretty good way to fix it. That's better than just putting a big one of these white looking canopies all the way next to the house. because then you have a lot of rainwater that comes off of it, and then this goes straight down until your foundation of your house, which is something that you don't want to do. Okay, so that's pretty much that. And the reason that this is here is to cover up this fish pond. Well, the initial reason that it's here was to cover up this fish pond, because I don't know if anybody else has ever fooled with any fish ponds out there, but they are just horrible, horrible, horrible things to get algae in them. This one here, I cleaned it just a day or two ago. Started to film it. It would have made a nice little film, but nice little video, but it was, you know, I knew it's a pain in the butt to clean, and I just didn't want the additional hassle of doing the filming. It's just a small little pond. It's like about, I would say, 6 or 7, probably 7 foot long, and at the widest end, maybe 4 foot wide. It's got 10 goldfish in it, a couple of white ones, and the rest of them are gold. Anyway, it's just kind of a neat little pond there. And this white canopy, I don't know if you can tell here at the bottom, but I screwed in these auger type of things into the ground. Now these are some very, very long ones. These are, I guess, somewhere between 2 and 2.5, probably 2.5 foot long. So they're quite hard to screw in. And then I run a bolt through with a big washer. I have to put a big washer on it because these tie downs that I screw in have a big hole in the end of them. So you get a couple of big washers, run a bolt through it, and then you bolt it up here on the other side. And there's no doubt in my mind that it would be just about impossible for a windstorm to pull this out of the ground that's in so deep. However, my bolts are a little bit lacking. I wish I need a little bit bigger diameter bolt, because what would happen in just a huge, humongous windstorm, I suppose, would be the bolt would just bend and snap. But this has been through the remnants, we'll call it. Even though this is the mountains of North Carolina, this has been through the remnants of some pretty bad hurricanes, and it's held up. It's eventually what's going to happen is the canopy itself, the fabric will just get kind of rotten, and in a big windstorm it'll just shred right off of here. There's no question about that. But as long as this structure, that's the main thing, is if this structure remains intact, then it's a simple matter of just getting another custom. It's a custom-made piece of fabric. You can get generic ones, but it wouldn't fit nearly as well as this did here to start with. But anyway, that's pretty much it here on the side garden. I don't know, you got a couple of chairs here, and let's see. I used to feed the birds here in this center bird feeder, but I don't know, it creates such a huge amount of weeds. The seeds from the bird feeder dropping on the ground, it's just horrible how many weeds that it creates. So I just have that there for looks primarily, although I did enjoy the birds when they were there. Unfortunately, the cats did also occasionally enjoy the birds themselves. Well, I tried my best to discourage it, and I actually moved it around a time or two where it would be less accessible for them. It was at a place where they could climb up on something else and then jump on it and ambush them, so I had to move it where they wouldn't get too many birds. Okay, what kind of cat have we got here? This looks like a little bad kitty. Yep. Okay. Hello, Baba. Alright, what else is around here? Here was a idea I had this summer, which I never really followed through on. I said, well, it would be good exercise if I got one of these old style reel type mowers, and just mowed a little grass with it. Although whenever I got it, I got it used, and the blades are dull, so it's going to cost like $20 to get the blades sharpened unless I do it myself. I don't know how confident I am on sharpening something like that, but I don't know, I'll probably just wind up getting just getting rid of it. But it was a decent idea to start with about the exercise. Okay, I think you get enough exercise just doing everything else that needs to be done around. Anyhow, I think that's pretty much it. I will try the next time this is clean, which will be next summer sometime. I will try to do a little video of that. I was basically just too lazy to try to shoot one when I cleaned it near the other day. But what I do, at first I just tried to clean it in ground, and that really is a pain in the butt. So I just totally remove it. It's easy to yank it. I just remove these blocks from around it, which I call cricket blocks for a reason that you don't know about. Anyway, I just remove the blocks, little blocks from around it, and then I pull the pond out and lean it up against a tree and clean it. I call those cricket blocks because I used to have a cat named Cricket, who unfortunately is no longer with me. But anyway, she's the only cat that I've ever had who professed any interest at all in the fish. Cricket would actually catch the fish. He'd just stand next to the pond and dip the old claw down in there. And you know, I would go online. I've been online checking out about whether anybody else's cats catch fish, and it's just almost an unheard of thing, really. Almost no cats will try to catch fish for very long. They give up, they get bored, they get frustrated. So I actually started to have goldfish show up inside the house. So aside from the rats that show up inside the house, additionally I started to have goldfish show up inside the house. And a couple of times I actually took the goldfish, which were, I mean, they were pretty dried out, but they still had a little bit of life. So I brought them back out, put them in the pond, and they revived, and a couple of them are in there now. So I think a couple of them didn't make it, but a couple of them did. I have no idea how long they was out of the water, but from the state they were in, they were out of the water a pretty good long time. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this side of the house here. And there's Carly again. Now the other ones have, you know, on occasion nose around it, watch them, maybe stick a paw down a time or two, but that's pretty much it. They never were gung-ho. Cricket was was quite a cat in that respect. Poor little guy, he thought he was invincible, but the car up here on the highway proved otherwise. So much for that. Okay, don't want to end on too down a note here. So this is Blinkazoid, over and out.